Hello! This video is brought to you by my supporters over on Patreon. Minasan, arigatou gozaimasu. It's October 22nd, 2023, and my name is Kurt. This is my daily good life meditation, an exercise that I do each and every morning a little bit after waking up. It's now 4:46 a.m. 4:41 a.m., sorry. I do this in order to remember my life objectives and principles, those which are outlined in my book, Going Alone. You can find a link to the book down in the description if you like. I recommend the hardcover edition. I also use this time to reflect on the last 24 hours, including last night, how I did with my sleep. I think about the challenges and opportunities that I met, reflect on how I handled them, especially the ones that took me by surprise. I plan for the coming day, and then I prepare myself for death. But I always like to start with a poem. So we're going to read for a second time yesterday's poem by John Keats, probably one of his most famous poems, Ode to a Grecian Urn. I promised I was going to go over some vocabulary, but I forgot. So let's just read it again. I'll read it again tomorrow, and I promise I'll do the vocabulary tomorrow if I can remember. Remember, this poem is Keats's note about capturing moments in time with the images, inspired by the images that seen on the side of a Grecian urn. This was long before photography. Painting, of course, existed, but imagine each of these still life scenes captured forever, and that sentiment of forever being pressed through the poem. Ode on a Grecian Urn. Thou still unravished bride of quietness, thou foster child of silence and slow time, sylvan historian, who canst thus express a flowery tale more sweetly than our rhyme. What leaf-fringed legend haunts about thy shape, of deities or mortals, or of both, in Tempe or the dales Arcady? What men or gods are these? What maiden's loth? What mad pursuit? What struggle to escape? What pipes and timbrels? What wild ecstasy? Heard melodies are sweet, but those unheard are sweeter. Therefore, ye soft pipes, play on, not to the sensual ear, but, more endeared, pipe to the spirit ditties of no tone. Fair youth, beneath the trees, thou canst not leave thy song, nor ever can those trees be bare. Bold lover, never canst thou kiss, though winning near the goal. Yet do not grieve, she cannot fade, though thou hast not thy bliss. Forever wilt thou love, and she be fair. Ah, happy, happy boughs, thou cannot shed your leaves, nor ever bid the spring adieu. And happy melodist, unwearied, forever piping songs, forever new. More happy love, more happy, happy love, forever warm and still to be enjoyed, forever panting and forever young, all breathing human passion far above, that leaves a heart high, sorrowful, and cloyed, a burning forehead and a parching tongue. Who are these coming to the sacrifice? To what green altar, O mysterious priest, leadest thou that heifer lowing at the skies, and all her silken flanks with garlands dressed? What little town by river or seashore, or mountain built with peaceful citadel, is emptied of this folk, this pious morn? And, little town, thy streets for evermore will silent be, and not a soul to tell why thou art desolate can ever return. Jeez. Oatic shape, fair attitude with bread of marble men and maidens overwrought, with forest branches and the trodden weed. Thou, silent form, dost tease us out of thought, as doth eternity. Cold pastoral, when old age shall this generation waste, thou shalt remain in midst of other woe than ours, a friend to man, to whom thou sayest, beauty is truth, truth beauty. That is all ye know on earth, and all ye need to know. Right there at the end. I keep telling Yumiko, all I want in this last phase, this hopefully in a good long phase maybe, of life, now that hard work is hopefully coming to an end, is moments of poetry. That's the way to describe it, moments of poetry. Those moments when like a poem just, really touches you. You can get the same moment out of a good song, There's that line from Boston, the group Boston's no more, more than a feeling, I see my Mary Ann walking away. That's it. That's the same sentiment. You can get it all kinds of ways. I just want moments like that. Is it greedy to ask for? Nah. It's the right season of life for it, for sure. I saw it yesterday. There was, Yumiko and I were walking the dogs in the evening, and the evening light was just perfect. And we would pass through little settings and scenes, and I would observe the light, the low evening October light. And I would just, that's the same thing. Last night, while Yumiko was cooking dinner, I was sitting on the sofa watching Midnight Diner. Rudy by my side, my little dog. And there was that moment happening on the TV show. That moment. Moments of poetry. Poem or not. Poem, not even necessary. Okay. Didn't sleep well last night, but it wasn't a bad thing. I was up dreaming awake, thinking about the future, the next 6 months. We're down to it. We have arrived. Yumiko and I have arrived at the threshold. It's time to take this life apart. It really is. In earnest. And that's what I was dreaming of. And I have tough meetings tomorrow. I'm ready for them. Because I'm now within striking distance of the departure. Even though it's still a long ways out for me, more than a year. But given that my wife and daughter are leaving, I can enjoy a vicarious experience in that capacity. Meanwhile, yesterday, while we were walking, I was reminding myself that things really don't change in setting to setting. I have challenges here. I have difficulties. I have pains and upsets and imbalances, and things take me by surprise. And so true, that will be in Japan too. And I'm ready for that. I know that. I know better. I'm not fooling myself into thinking that, as Emerson would say, what does he say? I dream of the palaces and et cetera, of Europe. And then when I arrive, my giant is with me there. I can't say it the way he says it. It's that one bit in Self-Reliance, talking about dreaming of of escaping ourselves, which we can't do. We can, though, improve ourselves and better ourselves and elevate ourselves through conscientious living, right? Deliberate living, courageous living. Boy, I feel like I've covered enough in this one bit, so let me get through this. The rest today, or yesterday was a good day. Did all the stuff that I usually do. Finished all this, went to the beach, did my book reading, came home, cleaned the house, went out, had lunch with Yumiko, did our shopping, came home, had a lovely evening, 3 walks with the dogs. A very ambitious day, got a lot done, added a new line. I was attempting to read a chapter of The Rambler, or an essay of The Rambler, and I found a great Dr. Johnson quote, and I added it to Going Alone, which is a lot of work to do to edit the book. Plus I worked on Real Japan Monsters. It was a very productive day. Nothing really took me by surprise. I was pretty even keeled throughout the day, ready for everything. It's like more and more now. It's tough for things to take me by surprise much anymore. Like that man the other day, last weekend, getting upset at me and just kind of, oh, really sorry. I'm sorry you're upset. I apologized. Even handling my mom this week, getting better. Difficult things like people riding their bicycles on the sidewalk. Don't get upset about that. Just grab my dog and stand aside and give them a smile as they go by. And from the deep inside, genuinely not bothered. Just it's the way the world works, right? I will confess I was bothered by what Bob told me yesterday, my neighbor. Things are getting really bad for he and his wife, with her health and his health too. I don't see a way out. I talk to him every day. I don't want to be talking about my neighbors. I don't want to be gossiping, but it's tough. The horror show is real. It's coming for all of us, to a greater or lesser degree. Okay, the good life. 8 objectives, 30 principles, 35 principles, that is. The 8 objectives are to be always ready to die, to make good and effective use of time, to develop and maintain good and sound life principles, to cultivate good emotional reactions, to perform good actions, to recognize my true limits and true opportunities, to do just, it's hard to say, to do just one thing at a time and do that thing slowly and deliberately and carefully, and to maintain my balance. My 35 principles are war, reason, homunculus, anchor hold, home of good and evil, purpose, atomic principle, principle of nature, the pirate ride, maturity, the social principle, the principle of family, public speaking, temperance, life will not go well, the horror show, that which must be born, the feast of offal, distraction, agency and the great indifference, the best seat in the house, the restless man, the path of wildness, the great life adventure, the risk of avoiding risk, sin and damnation, complete oblivion, the season of philosophy, script writing, the bullseyeing, the uphill climb, arena and utility, nothing is enough, the principle of fun, and being ready. It's funny how I don't even need to think about these things anymore. They're just like touching them. It's like they're doing the rosary. Because I've done them so long. But I would like to get back to doing them in more depth. As for today, it's a Sunday. I'm going to finish all this. one of the things I'm going to do to simplify things, begin packing life down, is I'm tightening up all my online accounts, getting rid of the superfluous ones, getting myself down to a tight online budget, because we're going to live on a fixed income going forward, so we have to tighten things up. I'm also reducing down my workflows, taking out the extraneous, anything that won't survive my death, like my blog. My website will go away after I die, so there's no sense in putting all those blog posts out there, but YouTube videos will stay, Facebook posts will stay, Instagram will stay, things like that. So I'm going to stop using the blog on my website, just keep the blog there as like the signpost place where people can come read Going Alone for free and other things. But I really am not going to invest too much. I really should move away from that altogether. Why do I keep that website? It's not going to survive me. The YouTube channel's enough. Why do I keep it? Oh, free copy of Going, but do I need it there? These are the thoughts I should keep to myself and just think about them during the course of the day. But I'm not going to be putting links up. I used to do if you want a copy of Going Alone, see the link above. I'm going to stop doing that. That's too much time. I'll just put the link in the description. Oh, and then, but today I'm going to take, after I'm done with this, upload this video, I will I'm going to, on Sundays, not every Sunday, but most Sundays, I find a nice place for Yumiko and I to have brunch together. And it's either a breakfast or a brunch or a lunch, depending on how soon we get to it. And we'll talk. Maybe we'll pick a day to buy airline tickets, and maybe we'll buy the airline tickets. And we'll start this process. Start this process of taking life apart. I love it. It's such a dear and interesting process. It's like dying before you die, then getting to come back to life again, somewhere else, something else. It's so much fun. It's scary, but it gets easier with practice. I think that's enough. I'll say goodbye now, for now. Be safe, but not too safe. Take care. Gary, look forward to meeting with you someday. Take care. I will move forward and up. I will rarely stop, and I will never